What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TTG Plays at Donkey Kong Country. We are here at the Monkey Mines. Winky's... this is my favorite track in the whole game. Hands down. Well, I don't like it more than Aquatic Ambience, but it's my second favorite track in the whole game. So this is the part of the game where the gimmick levels start to show up. Though I wouldn't call this a gimmick level. Oh, how are you all doing, by the way? Hope you're all doing well. I just realized, too, this is actually the third time I've done a Let's Play this game, because I did a playthrough of it with Jess over on her channel, Moon Garden Amir, which if you haven't checked it out, you should probably go check it out. There'll be a link in the description below. Whoop, grab all the bananas. Alright. But, oh, that was not a good jump. Different color zingers for different colored attack patterns as well. I forgot that Winky has to jump on things, making him completely redundant, or whatever, at the end anyway. I will say, some of the levels in this game are, like, weirdly short, like, strange short. Now, I said they were gimmick levels. I don't think I would consider these minecart levels to be gimmick levels. They very much play by their own rules. They have their own set of, gameplay mechanics, which are completely separate to the main game. So those aren't what I'm talking about. I'll show you the first example of a gimmick level as soon as we get up to them. As a kid, these levels were the hardest things in the game for me, for whatever reason. Well, that was dumb. Let's try that again. Yeah, as I was saying, as a kid, these were definitely the hardest levels going back to them. And then what I did find later on when I discovered emulation was that these were much faster. I'm not sure if on the Wii U if this is the case or not, but back home, because we were playing with PAL games, they only ran at 50 Hertz, and of course NTSC games ran at 60 Hertz. And like, I had these levels ingrained in my head from playing them over and over again, but grabbing the emulator, they were much faster, and I could never understand why. It wasn't until years later I learned about the difference in hertz between the United States and PAL territories. So basically, for every single second of game, there's an additional 10 frames. It's 10 frames faster in the United States than it was in the PAL territories. So it made these levels, for me, incredibly difficult, because they were much faster than I was used to. So even though I had them memorized, the timing was completely different. You'd be surprised what 10 frames can do. It makes a hell of a difference, I can tell you now. But we seem to be doing pretty good. We've only died once, and it was because of a mistimed jump, so that's fine. Yes, I knew he was there somewhere. We did it. Bouncy Bonanza. Which one's this one? Yes. So, once again, straight platforming. I'm actually kind of surprised how long it takes to get to a gimmick level in this game. For some reason, I thought there was one earlier than this. Guess I was wrong. Ugh. Yeah. I'm not actually sure what the point of that tire is. That was dumb. I thought I would be safe there. Actually, that's a lie. I think, now I'm looking at it, there's a tire here, which, you know, whatever. Surrounded by a bee. Happens. And I think the whole point of that tire, I don't think you can actually get anywhere with it, but I dare say the point of it... Nope. Alright. That was dumb of me. I think that tire is literally just there in like a safe space. in air quotes. Safe space so that you could learn how to actually jump using those tire mechanics. Alright, I'm not going in your stupid hole this time. Bye. I'm not terrible at these games, I promise. I'm just because I'm thinking at the same time instead of playing the way I normally would. It makes me want to stop. When I usually play through these games, I'm all about just running as far forward as quickly as possible as I can. Alright. I guess in a way this tire kind of does work as a gimmick for the stage, but I don't think it's... Well, we're not getting Winky. We messed that up, guys. Sorry. It's okay. For those who don't know, there's another frog up the top there, which I don't know if I could say it makes the level easier. Oh wait, or is Winky in here? Maybe he's in here. Oh, he's in here. Never mind. We do get the frog. I actually find platforming generally to be harder while riding on Winky. His controls feel off, to say the least. There's something doesn't quite feel right with him. I don't know. I think it's the momentum on the jump. I don't think it feels bad necessarily, but it feels, yeah, just off is the only word I can really use to describe it, I think. It's not quite. This was a great thing that they added. I can't remember if Yoshi did this in Super Mario World, because I didn't grow up with the Super Mario games. I grew up with the Sega, so when I played Nintendo, it was always Donkey Kong. I don't remember if Yoshi got caught up in the environments like that or not. Well, there we go. Bonus level. I do think the bonus levels are definitely something that they improved in the sequels. In this particular game, they just kind of like these things that give you extra bananas for lives. Whereas in the sequels to this is the first real gimmick level. In the sequels to Donkey Kong Country, they kind of worked as a... they get items to unlock more content, basically, which I think is a much better system than just meaningless percentage points. But anyway, as I said, this is the first gimmick stage. So here we have Stop and Go Station. We have these enemies which will keep running around. They are indestructible, and then, yeah, they will just keep running around while the light's green, hit red, they turn off. I think these stages, where they introduce these sort of mechanics, are a really nice break from the general platforming. Not that this isn't platforming, but actually there's some pretty tight platforming in this stage here. Something else that I want to point out too is a visual trick that they did, where they actually turned down the brightness on the claptraps, but they kept the teeth white because they're such a dangerous enemy. But they still wanted them to read easily visually, so that was the way around that. So you'll also notice that was pretty easy, and that was their way of introducing the mechanics of this stage to us. But once you hit the star barrel, they really start to run with the mechanics to make them much more... It's usually the first half of the level teaches you the mechanics you'll need for teaches you the gimmick, basically, and then once you've been taught that gimmick, the game will actually test you on it. And that's something that all three of the Donkey Kong Country games do really well, I think. It's usually the first level's like, here's a mechanic, master it, and you master it usually or at least you've come to grips with it by the time you hit the halfway mark through the level, and then the rest of the levels, like, basically, oh hey, okay, now it's time for you to apply all of this. Let's see, these are... Ooh. Sometimes the timing can be a little bit wonky with these guys. Just because of the draw distance. But anyway, we did it. It wasn't so bad. Wasn't so bad after all. Yeah, this game series to me is like comfort food. I think it's the other reason I wanted to Let's Play it again. It's just like, I need to Let's Play something that isn't near which I'm still recording. Oh, I know. Donkey Kong Country. It's my safe space. Yeah. Hidden tire. So this I would not consider a gimmick level, because those are just mere obstacles. They're not a mechanic that I have to necessarily play with. They're just something that makes the level design a little more interesting. I used to think they were cheese wheels when I was a kid. Also, these enemies are interesting because you can only defeat them with Donkey Kong. That's something they had a lot less of in the second Donkey Kong Country game. Diddy and Dixie, I guess, because they're both very light characters. They decided it made sense for none of the enemies really to exist in a way where you can defeat them with another one of the characters. I guess the closest exception to that is there's these big hulking dudes, and you can defeat them by oh, this was a mistake. There's Winkies everywhere in this world. Yeah, there's one enemy that you can defeat by picking up your partner and throwing them. And that's as close as it gets to... Fucking nuts. That's really as close as it gets to the mechanics of enemies that can't be killed by certain characters in this particular game. Come on, come on, come on, come back. This guy's so fast. Snakes are dead. Alright, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, it feels so weird doing another Let's Play of this game. It really is one of those games that usually if I'm waiting for a bus or something like that, and I'm like, oh, I gotta kill 20 minutes, I can just pop this in and play the first few levels and see how far I can get. But anyway, whoops. We're almost finished this world now. Let's do Necky's nuts here. And I don't know why you can't jump on him until after he spat out the nut. I mean, like, I understand that it's to make the boss difficult, but it's a very arbitrary mechanic. That's kind of stupid. I know it seems kind of dumb to complain about logical sense in a fucking Donkey Kong Country game, but that is something that kind of bugs me. Not that it made much of a difference in the end. Like, I was tough as nuts when I was a kid, though. Alright, so next up we have Vine Valley. So I will join you next time. Once again, give us a like in the comments, or give us a like or comment if you're enjoying the series. And thank you again for your time and for sitting around and playing this with me. And I will catch you next time. Peace out and have a good one.